Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. More now than ever, am I believing that XRP is going to be part of the future financial revolution post-economic reset. The writing is on the wall. So many of the major leaders around the world and, heads of these important bodies are all pointing to the fact that a digital future is where we're going to go. And guys, think about it. Have you seen any other company that has had meetings with the IMF, the BIS, the World Economic Forum? Have you seen any other ties with any other cryptocurrency other than XRP to any of these master decision makers? Think about it for a second while I get into this. So this from the Cryptic Poet on Twitter: XRP and crypto provider Coinmerce registered with the Dutch Central Bank. So these guys are a provider of XRP, and now guys, they've just registered with the Dutch Central Bank, so we can proudly announce that we have been added to the crypto register of the Dutch Central Bank on November 9th, 2020. Of course, we are happy, especially because we are one of the first companies offering both wallet and trading functionalities in the Netherlands that is accepted. It's a confirmation for our customers that they buy, sell, and store their cryptocurrency on a platform which fulfills its regulatory requirements when it comes to prevention of money laundering and financing terrorism. So big news there. And I guess in the Netherlands, you do have to be registered with the Dutch Central Bank in order to provide cryptocurrency services. And again, let me remind you, Coinmerce, an XRP provider. So that obviously not a bad thing either. And then we've got Ripple, guys. Ripple buys back XRP for the first time to support healthy markets. Now, this came out when the Q3 report came out. And did this scare you when you heard this? Well, for the first time, Ripple bought $46 million worth of XRP in the third quarter of 2020, despite already owning nearly half of the digital asset supply. The reason why they're buying the $46 million? Because the XRP in escrow was already earmarked for another purpose. Ripple said the purchase was made to support healthy markets, possibly referring to creating interest around XRP, thereby raising its price. A Ripple spokesperson told the block that the company may continue to purchase XRP to also support its newly launched product line of credit, which allows on-demand liquidity customers to buy XRP on credit from Ripple. You got to remember, they just released this line of credit thing. How is that going to flourish if they don't have any XRP to lend out? So they needed to buy more back. They weren't relying on the XRP they have in escrow. They needed to buy more back in order to, line their accounts so that when the clients finally do come to them to borrow XRP for these cross-border remittance payments, they have the XRP to lend out, and then obviously they're going to charge them, interest on that. And when the company returns it, right, they pay the interest, they pay it back, and everything is fine and good. This is why Ripple is doing this, guys. It's to foster healthy markets, to foster the ecosystem, not because XRP isn't working and they're trying furiously to make it work somehow. No. This all has to do with healthy market making. And so Ripple getting into the game, looking to help jumpstart this because they have a vested interest in XRP just like you and I. So Ripple wanting to stimulate XRP markets, obviously for real world utility. And we also have to remember the economy is not going to stop for anyone. So this I saw from Poochie 1967 on Twitter. Never thought of this. The debate wages on whether a digital dollar will actually unleash more inflation. Interesting question. Will the digital dollar, will the efficiency of this actually create more inflation for the USD? Let's talk about this. So the Fed's pumping money. That's obviously going to create inflation, but is releasing a digital dollar also going to add to that inflation? An interesting question. So with record U.S. money printing failing to achieve much needed economic stimulus, some observers now expect creation of a digital dollar central bank digital currency will not only speed payments to consumers, but also spur inflation. The Federal Reserve has consistently undershot its 2% inflation target since the Great Recession of 2008, and the situation has only worsened this year due to the beer flu pandemic. This is leading some to speculate that should the central bank implement the digital dollar, which it's not close to doing at present, soaring inflation will soon follow. So guys, this is coming from Jeffrey Gundlach, chief executive of California-based investment management firm Double Line Capital. He recently published a paper authored by Bill Campbell, a global bond portfolio manager at Double Line, about what it called the Pandora's box of central bank digital currencies. And here's what he said. With CBDCs, the central bank would possess the necessary plumbing to directly deliver a digital currency to individuals' bank accounts ready to be spent via debit cards. Such a mechanism could open veritable floodgates of liquidity into the consumer economy that accelerate the rate of inflation. So more access to money quicker, easy, could indeed spur on inflation. So direct transfer of digital dollars to individuals' bank accounts might ensure stimulus payments reach even the poorest workers, boosting their spending power and creating upward pressure on the general price level. It can have a quicker and more direct impact compared to other tools and should give a boost to goods and services prices, Mark Ostwald, chief economist at London-based ADM Investor Services, told CoinDesk in an email. What I found interesting is that he mentions that with this technology, now he is referring to CBDCs here, not XRP, the central banks would possess the necessary plumbing to directly deliver a digital currency to individuals. Where have we heard that plumbing narrative before, guys? You remember this back in the spring? Andrew Zell, in a way, we're the plumbers. This coming from Brad Garlinghouse, and he said that with regards to, setting up the financial rails for the world. So not within the United States specifically, but global rails, of course, for ODL, on-demand liquidity. Jeff Gundlach obviously seeing the same kind of outcome potentially arising, but in this case, it could create more inflation for the USD. An interesting point of view here, maybe another reason why hedging your bet with cryptocurrencies isn't such a bad deal. And we think about this, guys, in relation to the elites and what they're investing in. Now, I saw this from Yano at JASONYANOWITZ on Twitter, and he says the greatest hedge fund manager alive is now long Bitcoin. This is Stanley Druckenmiller, and let me just play you this clip real quickly.
Bitcoin could be an asset class that has a lot of attraction to it as a store of value to both millennials and the new West Coast money. And as you know, they got a lot of it. It's been around for 13 years, and with each passing day, it picks up more of its stabilization of a brand. So I own many more times gold than I own Bitcoin. But frankly, if the gold bet works, the Bitcoin bet will probably work better because it's thinner and more liquid and has a lot more beta to it.
So did you catch all of that? I am going to bring up this article here basically describing what he just said in that clip, and I will link it in the description for you guys if you want to go over it. Druckenmiller said on CNBC Monday he owns Bitcoin, becoming the latest high-profile, ultra-high net worth investor to get in on the benchmark digital currency. But please note, guys, he did say, though he said his gold position is many more times larger than his Bitcoin allocation, Druckenmiller predicted his Bitcoin would outperform. Frankly, if the gold bet works, the Bitcoin bet will probably work better because it's thinner, more illiquid, and has a lot more beta to it. It has a lot of attraction as a store of value to both millennials and the new West Coast money, which is, Silicon Valley types. And as you know, they have a lot of it. Druckenmiller also says he's anticipating a 3 to 4 year decline in the dollar, just to let you guys know. So a 3 to 4 year decline in the dollar kind of goes along with this debate about CBDCs and being able to implement them as efficiently as we want to be able to implement them for all the reasons why it would benefit the economy. It could also cause inflation. Interesting to hear it from a few different sources now. Not only that, guys, and I know you love her, here's Christine Lagarde, the president of the ECB, talking about the new digital economy. Listen to what she has to say.
We will see digital payments. My hope, and we are working hard on that. Oli Rehn is a strong supporter of these initiatives, and all governing council are determined in that direction. We are working on digital payments, expanded, safer. The recent developments of the innovative private sector payment systems shows us that public sector investment and the trust embedded in central banks need to be deployed for that precisely, and whether it is cross-border payment, whether it is remittances, whether it is access to the population that is still unbanked, all that needs to be supported in this digital payment world towards which we are marching.
I'm going to stop it there, guys. I'll leave the clip in the description. You hear those three things she mentioned. Whether it's cross-border payments, whether it's remittances, or whether it's banking the unbanked. Where have we heard that narrative before? Ripple's first and foremost priority, cross-border payments and remittances. We've also seen that they have partnered with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to help bank the unbanked. And I know you guys remember when Brad Garlinghouse was at that big BIS meeting. Christine Lagarde was there. Augustin Carstens was there, among other important people looking to change the digital payments landscape, marching forward, as Christine Lagarde puts it. Now, this clip, guys, was from the EBLC Northern Lights Summit in 2020, a few months ago. Again, I'll put it in the description of the video if you guys want to watch the full thing. What I also found interesting, and I did a video on this just the other day, I'll link it up in the top right-hand corner for you, because it might be the only time you see that video ever again. Matt Morrow here on Twitter. That's interesting. I think the WEF, or the World Economic Forum, changed their mind about being so open with us regarding their 8 predictions for the world in 2030 video, which was released in November of 2016. Now, remember that video, You Will Own Nothing and You Will Be Happy? Apparently, the link is no longer available. This tweet is unavailable and no longer exists. Very, very interesting that they would decide after all these years to delete it, because you know what? Some of us have picked up on what is going to happen. So thanks so much, Matt Morrow, for pointing that out. And finally, guys, this from Ant1 on Twitter. Ripple CEO cautions public companies against holding Bitcoin. Is this inadvertently Brad Garlinghouse suggesting that he knows where the world of finance is going, and, he's not outright saying own XRP, but listen to what he has to say, and it has to do with regulations. So Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse once again took a shot at payments behemoth Square for investing 1% of its treasury reserves into Bitcoin. He said this in a November 9th tweet. The executive says that public companies that choose to hold the world's largest cryptocurrency may want to pay attention to climate change-related regulations. All right, so he's using the climate change angle in order to support his argument. Crypto adoption is undoubtedly one of the biggest 2020 trends in the crypto industry, with MicroStrategy and Jack Dorsey's Square making trailblazing moves. After calling MicroStrategy's bet bold and brilliant in early September, Garlinghouse now has adopted a more critical stance toward companies that hold Bitcoin. His most recent tweet refers to the New York Times article that lays out how President-elect Joe Biden is going to tackle environmental issues with his executive orders. On his first day in the White House, Biden would sign an executive order that would make public companies disclose climate risks. As reported by You Today, the Ripple boss also applauded the New York State Department of Financial Services for becoming America's first financial regulator to issue climate guidelines for state-regulated companies, including crypto businesses. Bitcoin's proof-of-work consensus algorithm requires plenty of energy, which we already know. Nevertheless, Bitcoin's proponents see the ability to have a decentralized and secure cryptocurrency as a reasonable trade-off. XRP, while consuming as much as 14 light bulbs, is considered to be more centralized than POW-based cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum, which isn't actually correct. But it does consume as much energy as 14 light bulbs in comparison to Bitcoin, which is a heck of a lot more. So does Brad Garlinghouse know something we don't know? Climate policy would definitely change under the Biden administration if he becomes president in January. XRP is one of the most environmentally friendly cryptocurrencies that has been stated quite frequently by people working at Ripple. And with regards to this Great Reset narrative, we know that climate change is near the top of the list. Down here, early in June, the World Economic Forum announced the Great Reset Initiative to improve the state of the world. The initiative, an exciting development for sustainability, looks at rebalancing investment, harnessing science and technology, and advancing the transition to net zero. Now, do you think this is a coincidence? XRP, a very environmentally cryptocurrency, uses the energy of 14 light bulbs compared to the other cryptocurrencies that use a heck of a lot more. So let me ask you the question, if this does indeed go through, would you rather be holding Bitcoin or XRP? I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.